Start with the rookie quarterbacks because it was a pretty good performance from two of them this past week, and actually three. Caleb Williams threw for over 300 yards. We won't talk about him. We will talk first about Jayden Daniels, his coming out party. Paul Sartz begins this by saying some love for Jayden Daniels and Kliff Kingsbury. 2 games without punting. Game plan yesterday was amazing, executed by a superstar in the making. So you went deep dive on their offense, on Jayden Daniels, because it was an amazing performance.
How to watch it. I mean, come on. I picked the Bengals to be my Super Bowl team. Here they are 0-3. I thought that was going to be the night they turned it around, right? So that is big news. I mean, what a weekend for LSU, first off. Let me just say that. Between those two quarterbacks playing, Malik Neighbors, I'm missing somebody else, too, that was in the shuffle in my brain. But, damn, I mean, LSU does have some stars that are special around the NFL. I think our Paul Sartz, I mean, we're going to give him love, and I think he hits on a really good point, too. And a guy that I've been critical of in the past, and we'll see if this continues to go in this direction. Kliff Kingsbury, right? Definitely being a little more patient with the run. Definitely changing formations and looks a little bit more. And when you heard me, I used to complain a little bit in Arizona, right? So that to me has been encouraging from Kliff Kingsbury. It's like he went back to the lab with the year off and all that, and there's a little like, wait, I gotta self-scout thyself here a little bit, as we always say, and change up what I do. And so I give him a lot of credit. Now, hopefully that continues, right? We've seen this in other years where then we get to like week 7 or 8, and I go, there's nothing else to bring along with it.
They can add more too, because I was looking at the motion and the pre-snap movement. Washington's still amongst
They're very stagnant.
The lower.
Yes.
But it's after snap they've been doing some more creative things.
They do. And even before the snap, at least with formations that are different, where I'll just go, okay, I don't remember Kliff being in this formation this much or doing that. And maybe the motions will pick up too as the rookie quarterback continues to get more and more comfortable. By far, Jayden Daniels has been the most consistent rookie so far, right? Game 1 wasn't great, but it was solid. It was good. Game 2 was really good. I'm not going to say it was great, but it was really good, right? Consistently moved the ball down the field. They had to settle for field goals a bunch. And then I would say game 3 was great. I would put it in the great category. They ran the ball to a degree early on in the football game, but after that, they kind of just ran the ball to kind of keep Cincinnati honest, and it was him and his throwing and his calm demeanor, whether it's just the game in general or people around him in the pocket or big moments. I mean, he's unflappable. That's what I like about him more than anything. Let alone, we're just seeing what we talked about in the draft process, this smooth, consistent throwing motion that he has that allows him to be incredibly accurate, and then, of course, he makes a few runs we know that are always special too.
It almost seems like he's put no pressure on himself.
I mean,
while he's playing.
So he's really talented. Okay, they got some weapons at receiver. Kingsbury has done some things to change on offense a little bit, but I also think here's one of the most, I think, under the radar aspects of his success. Okay. It is the fact that he is running the same offense that he ran in college. And now will that continue and get better and better as we go? I don't know. We'll see. But I certainly think that's given him an advantage of comfort zone, right? Early in the year to go, wait, I know all these rules. I had the same formations, right? His offensive coordinator in college is the guy that's at Notre Dame right now, Mike Dunbreck, and he's a spread offense guy. So you kind of hear me with Notre Dame. I'm like, run the ball more. You're not LSU with all these receivers and Jayden Daniels. That's not who you are, right? But that's the offense they ran. So it's very similar to Kingsbury, and I think that's helped him in his transition, let alone he's just a baller. He really is. And like we talked about at the time, most drafts, I think he is the number 1 pick of the draft. And it started on the first touchdown drive with a really, really special play that I believe we have some dots of the show on the 4th and 2.
This is the first drive, fourth and 2.
Yep.
This is the Luke McCaffrey 30-yard reception was the result of this play.
This is where Screenshots. Okay, cool. Screenshots are even better. I like this. But here's the play. They're basically now my issue would be this is one of these, I don't love Kliff Kingsbury plays here. Very basic. You're going to see 3 slants on the top of the screen there. And again, I think we want to know what's wrong with the NFL right now. A lot of these offenses got to stop when it's 3rd and 2, or in this case, 4th and 2, we run 3-yard routes. All the defenses in football are all over that stuff, right? They do that constantly. The Jaguars are a team that we'll talk about a little later. Every time it's 3rd and 9, you know how many yards they run around? 10.
Yeah.
When it's 3rd and 6, they run 7. And so it's like these guys are watching film. If I'm dumbass Chris Simms picking it up at home, the defensive coordinators are picking it up. So attack down the field. If you played this defense right here and you're watching on YouTube, Cincinnati's playing towards the line of scrimmage. If they played like this on 1st and 2nd down, offenses would go, I can't believe they're going to do this to us. This is disrespectful. And then it gets to 4th down and teams go, I just want to throw it 3 yards and get the 1st down. And it's like, no. What about your big-time quarterback and your $1 million receivers and all that? Let's go. So here's the play. Double slants. Okay, the ball's supposed to come out quick. You see it here. Now go to the next picture, Pete, when you get a second. Okay, so there you go, right? We got a curl route on the backside for about 7 or 8 yards, and he's not done running the route. But you could see the 3 receivers at top. Am I making my point clear?
Yep.
It's 4th and 2, and they've all run 3-yard routes, right? And Cincinnati's all over it. Look at them. They got a guy for the inside. Everybody's going to get passed off. There's nothing there. Most quarterbacks would panic right here and go, oh, no, they're all over this play. I need to run. I need to get out of here. Now, the other thing that's great about Washington right now, and this is my surprise of their football teir their O-line's better than I expected. I mean, the pass protection, right, is phenomenal here. So here's a 3-step drop, but nobody's open. So now he's going to sit here, humpity-hum. Let's go to the next shot, right? And he's still sitting here in the pocket. Luke McCaffrey plays football. And see, this is when you hear people say, like, hey, he's got great instincts or he knows how to play the game. And, you could tell he grew up playing football in his backyard and all that, right? He runs the slant route and he's like, wait, it didn't come to me on rhythm. Let me kind of readjust here. Oh, wait, there's a linebacker here. Let me go over the top of him because I know there's a window on the other side. He continues to run. And Jayden Daniels hits him like this was supposed to be the play. It's amazing. He hits it in rhythm, and I'm going, what was that play when I'm watching on TV? I'm like, I don't get it. And, of course, I turned on the film yesterday, see it. Great throw on the money, hits McCaffrey. He comes out the backside of the play there and almost scores a touchdown.
A couple of rookies right there, figuring it out and playing like instincts like
that's
you
where value of those guys come in. Like guys like McCaffrey, right? The Lad McConkeys of the world, they're not going to be first-round picks, but their value in the NFL is greater than where they're drafted because of their instincts, their feel. They can read coverages on the run, and they're short area quickness guys. McCaffrey's showing that he belongs, and he's really the perfect slot guy in the NFL, as we all know.
So there was a 3rd and 7 late in the game.
Yeah.
Washington needed it, and they didn't go with an 8-yard route. They went 27-yard touchdown over the top to Terry McLaurin. This is one where we have the dots for.
Okay, cool.
And so
cool.
Next Gen Stats also has a stat on this one. So that touchdown pass had a completion probability of 10.3%. That is the most improbable touchdown of this early season so far, and the most improbable completion by the Commanders in the Next Gen Stats era.
Wow. We got big things popping in Washington. I like it.
Yeah, when Jayden got there, that's what he wanted
they're
to do.
basically back to like the Doug Williamate days is the last time we've seen throws this, back in like late 80s, 90s, right?
Next Gen Stats goes back to 2016. But
okay,
perhaps.
so I don't remember. Maybe Mark Brunell had some in the mid-2000s there. But the Bengals, they couldn't get there, and this is a concern. And this is in my notes too. The Bengals pass rush is concerning, right? The only guy that looks like he ever shows up is Hendrickson, and he doesn't even show up as much as you'd like. Okay, so Lou Anarumo is kind of cornered in this situation where in big plays he's kind of got a blitz because he's like, wait, we can't cover for 6 seconds all the time, and then he's going to run, and we got to cover for another 3 seconds. So he decides to bring the blitz, right? And again, this guy kind of knowing the offense, knowing where his protection is, knowing who's going to be free coming off the edge, he realizes that, and he's got McLaurin running a little stutter go almost. He kind of gives a stutter that just makes Dax Hill kind of pause for a second, and then he turns it on. And the thing I love about Jayden Daniels and his 2 deep balls in this game, this one and the one earlier to McLaurin that got him down to the 2 or 3 yard line, he throws the deep balls high, right? He throws it high and out there, and he lets the receiver run and get it, who's more comfortable in those situations than the DB. That's why they're playing DB, right? Yeah. And this ball was a dot. I mean a dot. Because the coverage wasn't that great. There wasn't a ton of room on the sideline, and he dropped that right in there to really close the door on the Bengals and shatter their early season here.
Yeah, if you were to tell me that you thought the 2 best thrown balls of the whole weekend were Daniels 2 to McLaurin, that one long one, and then this 27-yard, I'd be
it's up there.
That probably it could be right.
Yeah.
And I like at the end of the game where Jayden Daniels, he gave full credit. He goes, all credit to God.
Yeah.
And then next question, they asked about that touchdown. He goes, all credit to Terry McLaurin.
Who's a little bigger than God in his life.
Is he calling Terry God?
God's a big deal, but your number one receiver is even bigger when you're in the NFL.
You got to make sure both of them are happy.
You're right. Yeah,
each and every game.
Definitely.
This is coming from JD's burner. He says, Jayden Daniels is miles ahead of Caleb Williams and should have been first on Chris Simms' rookie quarterback rankings. You were not hot take enough for JD's burner.
Nope. Listen, I'm not going to give up on what I've seen from Caleb Williams in my studies there. Jayden Daniels is really good.
To your credit, you were higher on him when there was a lot of talk that it was Drake May was clearly the number 2 quarterback in his draft class. You're like, no, it's Jayden Daniels.
Yeah. I made that clear, and we put him in a tier by himself at number 2, right? But again, let's not jump the shark or be a little crazy here. It's early on, and again, so far Jayden Daniels' support system has been much better than Caleb Williams. I mean, plain and simple. I would tell you this offense is better. They have more formations. They're able to run the ball a little bit on a weekly basis. It's a system he knows, right? So I think those are the things that benefit him. But there's a lot that I like about Caleb Williams, but there's a lot of team issues there too. So, but either way, I got no problem you rubbing it in my face for now out there.
I don't think that's an L. We're not going to
No, I'm not taking an L.
No.
It's just he's looked great. He's been great so far, and I love that he is playing great. The other thing too that I think is, I talked about the blitz pickups. The fact that they're really patient with the run and all that, I think is also only going to make his quarterback design runs that much more effective. You know, they're doing a good job of just mixing them in every now and then in big moments. They get down toward the goal line, fake the run. They've been consistent with the run. Oh man, wait, we forgot about the quarterback keeping the ball around the edge. He's wide open there. The other thing teams are going to have to continue to do here as we go along is he hasn't really been spied a lot yet. Cincinnati opted not to spy him, and it cost them a few times on third downs and stuff like that. And I think that's going to continue. You're going to see a trend there eventually where teams are going to go, wait, we can't do this because we can't get off the field on 3rd and 6 because he runs if we cover everybody, he runs for a first down every time. And the way they're protecting, he's got enough plays to go there. But I think those are the big points, and I love his play so far. He's been absolutely phenomenal.
So flip it over to the other side.
Yeah.
How worried are you about your Super Bowl pick?
Yeah, I'm a little worried for sure. Like some teams that are 0-3, I just go, it's over. They're out of it. This one, I would just go, I'm panicked. I'm not going to say it's over or they're out of it. Yeah. But what I'm concerned about is, we've talked about this, the lack of big people on their D-line, and that was before their 2 starters got hurt. So them now not being there, okay, they're at a real lack of big people, let alone they don't have much depth. So that hurts them there too. Then the pass rushers are nothing special off the edge right now, and they're not popping a whole lot. Like I said, Hendricks is the only guy from time to time that kind of shows up. So that's an issue. And that's where I think I get concerned more than anything. And I think also because they can't rush the passer and do all of that, I do think Lou Anarumo and company are going to have to kind of readjust how they play a little bit. They're not a huge disguise team, and I think that's something they're going to have to play with a little bit. They're going to have to use trickeration. They're going to have to try to fool some people here, because if they just play people straight up, where they've been used to being able to, hey, kind of line up and what they do, and they might have a creative wrinkle in what they do and all of that, they've been talented enough to get it done, really, for the most part. But last year, we're seeing that was not the issue, and this year is the same thing here, and they're going to have to readjust their attack a little bit.
I found a stat on that defense. They have rushed 7 or more.
Cool.
12% of the time. That is most in the NFL. There are 18 NFL teams that have not done that one time this year, and they do it 12% of the time.
When they rush 4 in the game, for the most part, and I know you saw this in my notes, I wrote, the Bengals front 4 can't even get close.
Right.
Like, not like, oh, they're almost there, or the pocket. Like, it's not even close. It's like, hey, I look at 1 and I pat the ball, and I look at 2 and I don't even have to shuffle or anywhere. I'm going to pat the ball again. And, number 3, all right, maybe I have to step up or move here, but I'm still pretty clean. I can throw. I mean, that's really what it was throughout the day. And that's where it's concerning. It's the D-line that's the most concerning for them right now. Offensively, hey, come on. They did a lot of good things the other night.
Sure.
I mean, damn, they outgained Washington by 100 yards. So I'm not there. I think their offense is on the right track. The defense is by far the biggest concern with the football team, and we'll see where that goes.
And a red flag, they are only 4.5-point favorites against the Carolina Panthers coming up this weekend.
Well, with the way the defense is playing, of course. I mean, how could they not be? I get that totally. And with Andy Dalton, the way he played and all that, I mean, we can't sit here and say there's a given anything with the Bengals right now.
All right, before we move on to the next quarterback, I do want to just play a quick snippet of a song that I heard on the radio when I was driving in here. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Here's what I heard driving into Stamford today.
What is this?
My Super Bowl team, what is wrong? The Cincinnati Bengals make me hit the bong. Ahmed, how did you know? The Bengals have no flow. Now I see what you mean. They're not a playoff team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like it's gotten that bad.
It's gotten that bad. They're writing songs and telling you you're right and seeing what you saw, huh? Damn.
I can't believe I had.
What singer was that? How did they get on the radio?
Some boy band. I think it was some boy band, Sync, or maybe one of the.
So you put this in AI and you're one of the things, and they made up a song.
I put in the lyrics,
right,
and then there are a few different versions it spits out. Okay. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I was telling Pete this.
Yeah.
I took the family. My son wanted to go to Olive Garden.
Right.
It was like really, he loved breadsticks. He wanted to do that. So I went into this thing and I made lyrics about Olive Garden. Spits out some songs. We were jamming to those on our way to Olive Garden that whole day. It is one of my favorite things in the world right now.
Apparently. That was well done though.
Thank you.
Really good.
We'll make it a
really
theme.
Good.
And hopefully it's not always just pumping me up.
Yeah,
every
I
time,
like when it is pumping you up.
I control the lyrics, so maybe they will be.
You do. You're the songwriter.
They're not dead yet. But it's getting later.
But they got a low pulse.
Bengals.
I'll say that. The pulse is low.
Yes.
The defibrillator better be charged up a little bit. Yo, homies. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's time. The NFL season is here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
You can hit subscribe to get all the weekly picks, plus our Sunday recaps as the games are happening.
Oh, you know it. Nobody does that better than us. Thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out. We'll see you next time on Unbuttoned.